Well, it's been an incredible night so far here at Optus Stadium in Perth. Thursday night footy, and Essendon have delivered on the big stage. They're 8-4-52. They lead the West Coast Eagles 1-6-12. 3 goals to Jakey Stringer. He was killing it during the first quarter. So too was Devon Smith. And singles also to Brown, Bell Chambers, and also McDonald, Tip and Woody. And for the West Coast Eagles, they've kicked just 1 goal. And it was from the boot of Nick Naitanui. Let's get some more stats. Triple M Bosch tool stats. Bosch Power Tools and Accessories. Good, better Bosch. Here's the beast, Mark Cometti.
Thanks, Locke. For the home team first, West Coast Gaff had 16, so did Redden. Redden also had 250 metres gained. Shepherd and Yo 11, 355 metres gains for Shepherd, so he had a big first half. Nick Nat, 13 hit-outs with the 1 goal. And for the Bombers, Merritt had 17 disposals. Langford, 15 and 5 clearances. Hooker, 13 disposals, 6 marks. Sard, 290 metres gained to go with 13 disposals. Hempel had 13 too. 4 clearances, 224 metres gained. And Smith, 13 disposals, 250 metres gained, 2 goals. Stringer had the 3 goals. And for the Bombers, they were a plus 62 in disposals, a plus 28 in marks. Coming into this game, obviously, West Coast ranked number 1 in the AFL in marks, so that's a big one. Plus 45 in uncontested possessions, a plus 7 in clearances, a plus 5 in inside 50s. West Coast were a plus 8 in hit-outs, and the free kicks, Lock, 17-9 in favour of West Coast.
17-9.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one on the Triple M Bosch Tool stats. You would think that the team with the lead would have the lead there,
Yeah.
you would think.
Well, they're plus 8, Embers, this week. Last week against St Kilda, and the week before against Richmond, and then Port Adelaide. They were plus 41, so they're plus 13, plus 11, and plus 17. They're certainly getting looked after by the umpires, whether that's right or wrong. But that is quite interesting that they're plus 8 and they're trailing by 40 points.
Had a couple of ones tonight that you sort of do scratch your head a little bit about at the moment, but I think Essendon would be more than happy with the lead that they have at half-time as we have a look at some of the better players in the first half. We'll start with Essendon, and they've had winners everywhere. Merritt and Langford have been outstanding through the midfield. Hooker's given them some good contests in the back half, and Sard's speed across half-back, and his transition has been outstanding. Bell Chambers has definitely had the better of Nick Naitanui and also Scott Lycett. And while Stringer was quieter in that second quarter, those 3 goals in the first quarter was absolutely outstanding. Really got Essendon off to a wonderful start. And for the West Coast Eagles, hard to find good players in the first half, but Gaff and Redden have probably been their best too.
Well, let's get stuck into that because thanks to Just for Men, gets rid of grey hair in 5 easy minutes. Visit justformen.com.au to learn more. Give us your couple from both teams.
I think Merritt's been outstanding in the first quarter. And I really do like Sard's run across half-back. Every time they get the football in his hands, he wants to do things with it. So he's been really good. I do like Bell Chambers. Whilst he hasn't got a hell of a lot of possessions, just his ability to be able to nullify the influence of Nick Naitanui and Scott Lycett, and also the goal that he's kicked has been really important. And for the West Coast Eagles, Andrew Gaff, really good second quarter, and he's up to 16 touches, but he's going to have to do a little bit more, as is Luke Shuey in this second half.
Well, let's head down to the boundary 10. It's not too cold down there for you, for Bob Jones teammates. It's pretty good.
Hey, it's not too cold, Locke. It probably is a bit chilly, but I'm rugged up. I've been doing a bit of work during the halftime break and
Before
can tell
you start, Tan, you're doing the birdie dance because that's going at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not.
Right.
I guess West Coast Eagles fans like the birdie dance to do with feathers. I've been doing a bit of stats work at half-time. Since Jack Darling went down with that ankle injury in the first quarter versus St Kilda back in round 11, the West Coast Eagles have only kicked 9 goals since then. So we know how red-hot Jack Darling was for the first 10 matches of the season. So pretty damning statistics since he's been injured. So 9 goals in 7 quarters of footy. And I can tell you that 12 points is West Coast's equal lowest halftime score ever at home. But last time they had 12 points on the board at halftime at home, they got up and won. And that was a match against Hawthorn back in 2012, but they were only down by 7 points. So stark contrast to tonight when they're down by 40.
Yeah, 40 points is the margin here, and we're not far away from getting this third quarter underway. It's Essendon 8-4-52, and they lead the West Coast Eagles 1-6-12. We'll be keeping you up to date with the World Cup, the Socceroos. We're about to go into battle, Embers. Half an hour away. You're a big World Cup man, Embers. You like
I am. Yeah,
been
really.
watching?
Looking forward to watching Australia play. I thought they may change their team around and go a little bit more attacking with Timmy Cahill too. I would expect that he will come off the bench though sometime during the game. But they were very good against France, so let's hope they can get the job done against Denmark tonight.
So we'll keep you up to date. Less than half an hour to go before that game gets underway. So it'll be certainly interesting. Our fingers are crossed that they can really do a magnificent performance. Let's get into it. Third quarter, Essendon 8-4-52. They lead the West Coast Eagles 1-6-12. Here's Dennis Cometti.
So that margin is 40 points. It was 37 at quarter time. So despite a really good performance in the second quarter in terms of getting the football and some aggression, the West Coast Eagles hardly dented the scoreboard in terms of the margin. So 52 plays 12. Bill Chambers and Nat Nui to renew their battle. So far the points well and truly with Tom Bell Chambers. Outnumbered, but he's been wholehearted during the first half. Now McGovern, where's he?
He's back. So West Coast haven't made the move just yet. Jackson Nelson forward. McGovern back. It's almost a swap for mine, but we'll see how this plays out.
That's interesting, isn't it? Like McGovern left back, because if Essendon get a couple of goals here, the bird will have flown. If they get the first two, then it's hard to imagine the West Coast Eagles, given their scoring power, can get back. The Bombers have been terrific tonight, particularly in the opening term. As we start the second half, umpire Dalglish bounces the football. Nat Nui wins the tap, down to Shuey. That was brilliant. Taken by Yo, but in the meantime, it's going to be a free kick, and I think it'll go to Myers. It's coming back to Myers, adjacent to the centre circle.
Called for incorrect disposal, so good chase down tackle on Luke Shuey.
Myers unloads with a long kick inside the forward 50 then. McGovern's in front, punched away by Brown, taken by Stringer. He's immediately tackled by Duggan. The ball fails to come out, and the umpire darts in and calls for it about 30 metres out from Essendon's attacking goal at the eastern end of the ground. Nat Nui locks up again with Bell Chambers. They fought a draw that time. Falls to Shuey. He kicks it out towards the wing. Bounces obligingly for Lysette. He was between two Bombers. He's got the football now. Hand pass not so good. Intercepting out there was Sard. Spills across wide towards McKenna. Back to Sard. Sard hand passes straight to Lysette though. Lysette did well. Hand passes to Gaff. Now they break away. Marston kicks inside the forward 50. Doubling back and taking a very good mark is Cripps. Kept his eye. His concentration was wonderful. Kept his eye on the football, and at the last moment had to lunge to his left-hand side and was able to take it on his chest.
Well, that's the best bit of play so far tonight. The West Coast Eagles got Lyson involved, good pressure, and then good transition. The Eagles forwards were high, but Cripps on Goddard worked really hard, got behind Goddard, and now Cripps for a really important start to the third.
Yes, this is a huge kick. Cripps comes in. And he's tugged it left. It's coming back. It's still a chance. No, it just misses by less than a metre. There was a sigh from the crowd. It looked well offline, but it certainly came back. So the opening score of the second half goes to the West Coast Eagles. Short one comes to Hurley.
Far too close to the man on the mark was Cripps, as the Bombers lead by 39 points. Kick along the line will bounce into the hands of Bell Chambers. He was pushed over by Nat Nui. And we'll throw it in, 70 around from West Coast goal. Nui and Merritt getting into each other. Lots of pushing and shoving. West Coast frustrated after a poor first half where they scored just one goal at home. A little bit of push and shove, no free kick. As Bell Chambers fell to the ground, Marston dives after the footy. Merritt has a bit of a fumble, can't pick it up, but continues to work hard to try and get it to his own possession. Nat Nui's down behind play as well. Now, has he been given something by Bell Chambers, who is standing there? Shuey's come over to remonstrate. We'll keep an eye on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances. The cameras, I'm sure, will be around. Both ruckmen go at it again. Stringer couldn't trap it. Big tackle laid. The Eagles give it off to Gaff. There's going to be a free kick. It'll come back. The tackle was laid, a strong one. And Nat Nui throwing his weight around gets the free.
Firing up a little bit at the moment, the big Fijian, Nick Natanui, was a really strong, hard tackle.
So Nat Nui, a long way out. will try and set something up. Just bobs it to the top of the square. Pack forms. The fist away, good for the Bombers. Merritt gathers to McGrath. McKenna lobs the hand pass over the top to Stringer. Great feed to Smith. To Bell Chambers. They go back inside their defensive 50 towards Goddard, and they spread it wide. Good kick from Goddard.
Heppel's got it now then on the wing. Kicks it down towards half forward. Fantasia does well. Strong hands. Breaking hard for him, Brown, but he's covered. McGovern goes across. So Fantasia decides to hold on. Now he goes back to Brown. Brown sensing that McGovern had just eased off, but the ball was a half volley in front of him. Brown takes it. He's immediately tackled by McGovern. And it's a ball up, so a lot of energy expelled there for little return. Right half forward now for the Bombers. Rucks go at it again. Lysette taps it down, close to the boundary. Myers, who's been handy, gives it to Merritt, who's been better than that. Kicks it down towards half forward, pushing the back. And it's going to be a free kick to Duggan. So the West Coast Eagles played much better in the second term, more inside 50s to half-time than their opponents. But just the one goal, remarkable. Duggan's got it back again. A little 1-2 on the outer side. He's got it again. Duggan runs into a tackle. He was running past for the hand pass. That didn't work out too well. Now Merritt picks it up, and it's going to be a free kick to McDonald, Tipungwuti. Takes it quickly. Merritt was quick to get the ball back to him too. McDonald, Tipungwuti went short. Found Heppel. Centering ball from behind Bagley. Couldn't get hands to it. Fell in front. Smith is tackled. He was taken down. On his knees there, McKernan. Socket off the ground by Merritt. And he missed by about a metre to the right-hand side. Behind then to Essendon. And they go to 8-5-53 to 1-7-13. And that's on the Triple M Ream scoreboard.
The kick out's a long one from Jeddah. Comes to this broadcast side. Bell Chambers couldn't hold on to it. Sard seemed to throw it out. It was okay, said the umpire to Hurley. Kicks it inside attacking 50. Charging out at Gaff. His hand pass, though, put Duggan under pressure. Free kick will come back to Gaff. He was brought down after he got rid of the footy. And the free agent will take it at right half back, 60 out from his defensive goal. It's the Bombers still by 40 points. That was the margin at half-time. We've ticked over 5.5 minutes now. The kick is a good one to Lysett. Needs to get more of the footy. Told to play on. Gives it to Gaff. McDonald tip, but what he caught him. Had no idea he was coming from the sides. Dragged him down. Free kick. Great tackle. He gives it off to Sard, another speedster. On the left he goes. The kick inside attacking 50. No one can take the mark. McGovern taps it straight down, though, to his opponent. A quick kick forward from Guelphy. Will be marked by Hearn. Hearn for West Coast. Gives it off to Redden. Redden's kick has to be good. Out wide towards Rioli. Brought it to ground. Well played by the youngster. Gives it to Marston. Marston on the wing. Kicks inside attacking 50. Waterman uses his body. Now we'll go and try and pick up the football. 60 out from his goals. Hand passes backwards towards Marston. His low pass is good. And Nelson, the defender, will take the mark. 45 out on an angle.
Well, he's been pushed forward in this quarter, Nelson. The Eagles are putting a bit of pressure on at the moment, but just haven't been able to convert their inside 50 entries. Just have a look at Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Bell Chambers and Nick Natanui. It didn't look like much, but Natanui did go down pretty quickly.
So Nelson needs to kick this. Little stutter. 45 out. Looked a good kick, but it's gone across the face for another minus score. They are now 1 goal, 8-14, the West Coast Eagles. And Essendon, 8-5-53. It's a 39-point lead for the Bombers.
Short kick to the pocket. Redmond takes the mark. He in turn goes short and finds Merritt. Ball magnet, Zach Merritt. He's at left half back. Kicks close to the boundary line. Stringer comes up and takes the mark. Gee, he's been on song today. That was a terrific grab. Both the hands just wrapped around the football. He goes down the line. Green interfered with McGovern. Could have almost been a free kick to McGovern. Nothing doing behind the pack. Bagley. Now that could have been in the back. Well, it's holding the ball against Bagley. Free kick to Cole. Cole, bit lucky there. He's got the ball hard against the boundary line. Kicks just beyond the wing. Big pack, bounces off the chest of Hooker. who was just standing minding his own business behind the pack. Now a chance for Stringer. He lost it. Spills wide. Picked up by Myers. He started this term very well. Goes to the middle of the ground and Goddard. Hand passes to McDonald. Tipperwoody spots a man inside the 50 and he finds Brown. And Brown has been a lively forward, the former Geelong Cat. Directly in front. It'll take his best kick from here. He'll kick from about 53 metres, maybe a little more. 53 plays 14. Essendon in front. And on the night, by far the better team, as you'd expect. This kick is on the way. Hasn't got the carry. Two short guys battle it out down there. Well, one short guy, Green, had little chance against the man who eventually marked it, McGovern. Now they work it to the back pocket, the West Coast Eagles. It's with Duggan.
Duggan's short pass is a good one. Onto the chest of Waterman, left half back. So it's a 39-point lead for the Bombers on the Triple M Marine scoreboard. Solar continuous flow and storage hot water. Reamers Australia's favourite. Install the Reamers. The Eagles have turned it over. They brought it to this broadcast side, then kicked it straight to Bagley. And there's going to be a free kick going West Coast way. So high contact, said the umpire. Didn't see that one, Embers. Must have been off the footy because it certainly wasn't against Bagley. So Ryan takes the free, gives it to Rioli. The kick inside attacking 50. A little bit of a juggle down there inside 50 from McInnes. Couldn't take it. Sard gathers to Langford to Goddard by hand. His kick into the middle of the ground. McDonald Tipperwoody just chips it over the top. And Green will take the mark. Still inside the centre square, spreads it out wide. Fantasia will get there first. Great little gather. Then burns off his opponent. Runs towards 50. Will he get tackled? Just got the kick away. Kicks it inside 50. Stringer out after it. Couldn't take it. Little paddle to his own advantage. Wasn't good from Cole. Here's Bagley. Gathers 10 metres out. Goal. Can do no wrong, the Bombers. They're running away with it. They're 9-5-59. The Eagles 1-8-14, 10 gone on the Triple M Ream scoreboards.
Well, Tipperwoody's really given Essendon an injection of speed through the midfield tonight. And at the moment, the Eagles have been challenging, but I tell you what, the Bombers stand up and they get the all-important first goal off this third quarter. Just great pressure inside their forward 50. And Bagley was in a really good spot. Well done, Guelphy, as well, to be able to apply that pressure for the goal.
11 disposals, 4 clearances for Tipperwoody now tonight as well on Triple M Bosch Tools stats.
McDonald Tipperwoody, a lively customer. Matt Guelphy was terrific to stay on his feet in the goal square. Set it up for his mate. And the run from Fantasia, so good and so deadly. Now it's going to be a free kick after the centre bounce against Bill Chambers, who pleads his case, but Lysette's getting the free. Runner alongside, ignores that. Lysette drives it inside the forward 50. Big pack at the drop of the ball. Hurley flew from behind, thumped it down in front, taken by Gapp, spots a man on the move, kicks it out wide. Eventually it bounces to the man he intended. It was taken by Cripps, who hand passes to Jetta, but his kick is short. And D comes up and takes the mark on his chest. Not Jetta's intention, obviously. Barely to 15 now. The short pass from D finds McGrath. Number 1 draft pick in 2016. Sends it short of the wing. Bell Chambers is there. He gets into the back of Lysette. And Lysette's going to get the free kick right at the interchange gates. Or is it Hearn? Hearn was the man in front of Lysette. Not sure how he finished up with the ball, but he's got it.
A little bit of holding on from Brown, I think, behind the play. As he goes short to Jetta. So it's still Essendon by 45 points. Biggest lead of the game. He went short to Lacroix. Edge of the centre square, right half forward. The kick now inside attacking 50. Yo flies high, couldn't hold on to the mark. Falling to the ground, Guelphy. Nat Nui throws himself on top of the footy. McInnes grabs it, then tries to barge his way through. He lost possession. Langford there. Just kicks it along the ground, straight to Hearn. 70 out from goal. He loads up again to the danger spot. Ryan flew, couldn't hold on. Fist away is good from Bell Chambers. And we'll throw it in one more time. 10 around from West Coast goal. They desperately need one. They've only had one goal in 2.5 quarters of footy. Essendon 9-5-59. The West Coast Eagles 1-8-14. That's on the Triple M Marine scoreboard. Ball thrown in, the tap down couldn't be gathered by Lacroix. The kick away was taken by Cole. Gets away the hand pass to McGovern. There'll be a free kick. Cole will get it. He was held on to a little long after he got rid of the footy.
Man on the mark is about 60 metres out from goal. Cole looks deep then, just takes something off the kick, setting it up, I think trying to help Ryan fly from behind. In front was Heppel though. Came off his fingertips, went behind a Waterman. He was immediately tackled. Ball is jarred loose and we'll get a ball up just inside the boundary. Heppel comes up with it. At the base of the pack there is Ryan. Eagles desperate for another goal. Nat Nui taps the ball across the boundary line, which was very close as I mentioned, so it'll be tossed in.
10-6 now inside 50s in favour of West Coast in this third quarter on Triple M Bosch Tools stats.
McGovern still in defence. At the moment he's standing on the wing. I think the time might be right for a change of scenery for him. Meantime, after the boundary throw-in, Lacroix had a half chance. He was tackled to the ground immediately. In goes Green and Smith. It's a gang tackle by Essendon and a very belated whistle. And eventually it'll be balled up about 40 metres out. Well, you just wonder what West Coast are thinking. They have to do something to try and win it, or maybe they don't, but they won't win it if they do nothing.
Exactly right. Yo gathers it. Hand pass. Good one to Cripps. His kick was smothered, and then it was touched towards the goal line by Hooker. Carried over for another minor score. 1 goal, 9-15 West Coast. 9 goals, 5-59 is Essendon, and they're quickly out of full back. On the far side of the ground, a little kick, though, was not so good. Gathered by Jetta on the wing. Kicks into the middle of the grounds to McGovern. He loads up and kicks it deep inside attacking 50. Pack will form. McInnes gathers, must kick a goal. He's hit the post. Can you believe it? Nothing going right for the West Coast Eagles, and Essendon will quickly move it out of the defensive half of the ground. It's the Bombers by 43.
McGrath grabs it, hand passes to Hurley. Hurley kicks it up towards the wing. Green gets into the back of Cole, and Cole will get the free kick. Right on the logo, right centre wing then. Pops it out to Gaff. Up comes Smith. Very energetically, stands the mark. Gaff looks towards the middle, nothing there. As the Eagles strive for their second goal, he kicks inside the forward 50. Another ugly big pack. It falls in front, taken by Nelson, and Nelson's kick onto the chest of Waterman. He wouldn't have been able to see Waterman. There was a line of players in his vision, only about 5 metres away. It was a quick kick in hope, and it worked out okay. So Waterman's taken the mark, and credit to the West Coast Eagles. They're sticking at it. I would venture to say they're leading inside 50s in this term, as they did in the second. We'll check with the Beast in just a moment. But Waterman has kicked a few goals this season, has a chance to add to his total. 13 goals for the year. Can he kick his 14th? Mightn't get them back in the match, but who knows? It's academic. He misses to the right-hand side. Only about 25 metres out. Well, they've got to take half chances to get back into it. 1:11:17 plays 9:5:59. That's on the Triple M Ream scoreboard.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Make sure you pick up a McCaw's lunch deal for just $5 at Macca's between 10:30 and 2 p.m. The Bombers really nail the coffin if they can get it down the other end of the ground, because West Coast at the moment, they can't kick straight and they can't do anything right.
It's disheartening at the moment for the Eagles, because they've had a few chances in this third quarter, had a couple of chances in the second quarter, but 1 goal 11. Some of their goal kicking tonight has been very poor.
That one was a poor one. Shuey shrugged off the tackler, gave it off to Lewis Jetta, to Cole. Hand pass further afield. It's a good one to Cripps. Cripps from 60 goes towards the big sticks. Has he got it through? He has. Straight through the middle. Finally a second goal. The fans go crazy. And the margin trims just a touch. There's still a long way to go. 36 points Essendon's lead. The Bombers 9-5-59. The Eagles 2-11-23. That's on the Triple M Ream scoreboard. Solar continuous flow and storage hot water. Ream is Australia's favourite. Install a Ream.
Well, they're starting to win the supply, the West Coast Eagles, and this is why we keep saying maybe it's McGovern to go forward, because 13 inside 50s to 6 just haven't been able to find targets. There was a long goal from Cripps, but I think there's a chance for the Eagles to push McGovern forward. It's not happened so far.
Such an important time in the game now, Merritt. Gets it after Nat Nui knocked it down. Kick comes forward for Essendon. Opportunity for Cole. Lurking behind. Well done by Jetta. Quick hand pass. Gave it to Hearn to Marston. Marston kicks out wide. Rioli didn't have the football. Should have got a free kick. He was tackled to the ground and the ball had run on. Now there's a belated whistle. Gee, that's come late. Rioli's got the free. Goes down the line looking for Jetta. Take it and run. That's what he's told, and he does exactly that. Kicks inside the forward 50. Over the back to Ryan. Ryan left the ball behind. They battle about 20 metres out from goal. Sard hand passes to Hooker. Hooker hand passes to D. He can't control it. Ryan goes across. Gives him a little push. In goes Nelson. He confronts D. And D is feisty too, and suddenly a bit of life in this one. Now, if the Eagles, who are doing so much of the attacking, can get the next couple of goals, they're a chance. And we're watching that replay on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. The goal umpire backed her judgment, I think. It may not have been right, that last one.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one, no doubt about it. Ball on the wing, gathered by Duggan. Back to Jetta, West Coast. Trying now to trim this margin. They're playing the better footy, but they can't score. Redden kicks inside, attacking 50. Contest made. Ball comes down towards Yo. Caught in the tackle. Beautiful ball comes loose. Nelson gathers, kicks towards the goal square with the numbers though. Essendon and Hurley takes a good mark. 36 points the Bombers lead. They've got to stand firm now. Time ticking away before three-quarter time. That kick, not a great one to the far side of the ground. It might have just snuck in. Yes, it has. Didn't go out of bounds on the full. We'll have a throw in.
Umpire's called chop of the arms. Which is fair enough too. Chop of the arms, free kick, hook up.
Hook up, takes it. And short to the skipper in Heppel. And he'll kick to 30 out from his defensive goal to Hurley. Now Sard. To McDonald, Tip and Woody. Pressure comes from Shuey. And good pressure from Shuey. He forced the ball over the boundary line. McDonald, Tip and Woody then goes in and shoves Shuey. That was silly. Shuey's going to get a free kick. From outside 50, lots of push and shove. Shuey's kick inside 50's goods. Liam Ryan on the leads. 10 on the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, well, Alan Richardson, the St Kilda coach, talks about the noise of affirmation. I think the goal umpire got talked into that last goal. The crowd doing everything they can to lift the West Coast Eagles at the moment.
Yeah, you're right, Tam. We saw it on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Chemist Warehouse, the real brand, or the real house of fragrances. It was very close to whether it was touched. Here's Ryan. He has kicked it out of bounds on the full. That wasn't great, Tim.
Hasn't been good tonight, Liam Ryan. We know he's missed a lot of football. Was rushed back into the West Coast Eagles side last week, but just hasn't been able to have an impact so far on this game.
So out of defence, still some jousting going on. It's driven out by Smith. Outside the defensive 50, Nat Nui thumps it back inside. Myers close to the boundary line, almost ushered across. Hand passes to Stringer. He's immediately tackled by Cripps. And we'll get a boundary throw in. Let's go back down to the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts. Here's Tanya.
Eagles defender Jeremy McGovern, he was on the bench a minute ago and he was on the phone for a very long time. Looks like he's come onto the ground and gone forward.
Okay, good work. Coach, Tanya, whoever. Everyone gets a tick, but probably overdue. They're really attacking now, the West Coast Eagles. And this is impressive. Despite the scoreboard, they're showing a lot of heart.
We were waiting for it, weren't we, McGovern to go forward.
Yes.
Now West Coast got a little bit of momentum, the crowd's involved, and he's gone to full forward, McGovern. Is it too late?
The Bombers by 36 points. 3 minutes to go before three-quarter time. Smith gathers it from the contest. Short pass is a good one. D has it. 45 out from his defensive goal. They want to just slow it down and keep possession for a while. Compose themselves. Short pass is good. McGrath, who chips it out wide to right half back to Hurley. He'll come inboard and spots up Brown. Still in the defensive half of the ground, the Bombers. They lead it by 36 on the Triple M Marine scoreboard. He's forced to go to a contest on the far side of the ground. Jumping up high was Duggan, fisted it towards the boundary line. It was good because Hutchings was there, but he didn't have enough time to get away from Fantasia, who looks a little sore after he laid that tackle. Slow to get up, but he'll be okay, and we'll throw it back in. It's still Essendon by 36 points for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy.
Approaching three-quarter time. Boundary throw in on the outer side. McKernan over the top, knocked it down. Hutchings got it. His kick was smothered. In goes Gaff. Spills wide. McGrath grabs it. Hand passes to McDonald. Tippenwoody. He's in two minds. Concedes. Goes backwards. Mark is taken by Goddard. Then a sweeping hand pass over the top to McGrath. And they go inside 50. One of the first times in the last 10 minutes, I'd suggest. Close to the boundary line. And the West Coast Eagles rush it out of bounds. Let's check those inside 50s in this term of the beast.
17-7 in favour of West Coast on the Triple M Bosch Tool stats on the inside 50s.
Okay. And just what? The one goal. Tossed in. Tapped down by McKernan. In front of the pack, Fantasia. Strong tackle by Duggan. Got him down. Out the back to Green. Green snaps and he misses. It was close. Had more time than he knew. 60 plays 23 then. 9-6 to 11.
So they play on now. Hearn to Gaff. Just gets the kick away. Ryan jumped a little early and it's gone through his hands and over the line and out of bounds. Andrew Embley's with us this evening. Triple M Seabar Super special comments. Seabar Super for everyone in building construction. He's called for McGovern to go forward. The coach has listened finally. As the ball gets thrown back into play. Hutchings tried to lay the tackle. Ball comes loose. Gaff there to pick up the crumbs, gives it off to Hearn, snaps it round the corner, but Goddard's there on the wing to take the mark. Broadcast side, goes to one of the better players on the ground, McDonald, Tippenwoody, and then he shapes up and kicks inside 50. That was superb. And the mark was taken by Fantasia. How good is he? McDonald, Tippenwoody, when he's up and about, he wants Hurley on the far side, 60 out from long range. Will it make the distance? Oh, jumping high, nearly taking a beauty was Stringer. And it's been rushed through for another minor score. So it continues to be the Bombers in charge. They're 9-7-61. The Eagles 2-11-23.
And the kick out of defence intended for Gaff rolls out of bounds in front of him. Had it not been for the leap of Stringer, it may have gone through for a goal or been marked by Merritt, who was standing behind him. Came off Stringer and went across the goal line. Picked back inside the forward 50 now. Came from Guelphy, but the mark has been taken by Hearn. He's been reliable back there. Having said that, immediately he kicks on the bounce to a teammate under pressure. Ricochets across to Duggan. He kicks it towards the outer side wing. Now a chance for Waterman. Picked it up nicely. Gets it off towards Gaff. Gaff kicks to space. Now here's a chance for Rioli. Leads in the race. Twisting, turning. Comes back towards the middle. And on the move, McGovern. He's 60 metres out, McGovern. They need a goal before three-quarter time. A little chip, not good enough over the head of Lacroix, who was offering the lead and getting into the gap behind the leading player, Bill Chambers, has been terrific.
He has been superb, Den. And they're working around the defensive half of the ground, although shocking kick lands in the hands of Shuey, gives it the Gaff, 45 out. Oh, just touched beautifully. Oh, no, it's going to bounce. Oh,
he's missed it.
Has missed it.
Oh, Scott Lice is the miss of the year.
1 metre out. He tried to kick it off the ground, and he has missed the ball completely.
Might have got a bit of sock.
Might have, Dan. The umpires are conferring. They're going to go for the Triple M Coates High Score review. We don't want to see it, Scotty.
Have a look at the sock moves. That's like a finger puppet.
All right, so the Gaff kick was from 45 out. Snapped it round the corner. Hooker was there just to get hands to it. And he tapped it towards the goal line and then came in. Lysa was there all on his own. No one around him. 10 metres he had. Tried to kick it off the ground and he's missed it.
He's done an airy. It's a moment that he will not want to see again.
Review complete. Going to the scoreboard.
We're going to the scoreboard for the Triple M Coates High Score review. And it's going to look ugly for Scotty Lycett. It's a behind.
I think he was thinking of the Socceroos lot.
He might have been, Den. He won't want the tape of this game.
No. Now, what's happened? The umpire wants the ball to come back. Hurley kicked it in, but umpire calling for it. So well done by Hooker, because had he not touched that, it may have gone through for a goal anyway. But he did touch it, much to the chagrin of Lysette. Oh, dear. Still, it hasn't been their night so far, but they've tried very hard, the West Coast Eagles, in the second and third terms for no return. Ball is kicked outside the 50 this time by Hurley. Knocked forward by Nat Nui. Onto the loose ball is Bagley. Could have been taken high. No free kick. Hand passes to Guelphy. And Guelphy steps over the boundary line with the football under heavy duress. 27 seconds remaining in the term. Just watching the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. Bill Chambers finding a lot of humour in the effort by Lysette. And Lysette couldn't quite see it.
Shuey gave it to Gaff. Quick kick forward will bounce over the boundary line. 4 minutes in, the Socceroos 0-0 with Denmark. We'll keep you up to date throughout the evening. World Cup action, it's been terrific. As the Bombers lead it here, 9-7-61. West Coast Eagles 2-12-24. Ball thrown in. Nat Nui taps it down to no one in particular. Redmond was there, he couldn't trap it. Guelphy on top of the footy. Cripps is there as well, trying to just tuck it in underneath him to get a holding the ball, but not going his way. And another ball up. Seconds remain. 5, in fact, in this quarter. Nat Nui taps it wide. Lacroix had to gather it, couldn't gather it. And it's going to be called for a throw against Lacroix. And the siren will blow. And Essendon have been terrific. There's no doubt about it. Just one goal in this third quarter, but they set it up at half-time. They led it by 40 points. And right now they lead by 37 points. Away from home. As the kick will come on the line. Sensational so far for Essendon and John Worsfolds. At three-quarter time, it's 9-7-61. West Coast 2-12-24 for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy.